Hello everybody, welcome back to the Landedkiller show. So today we're going to be going over Zorkiy. I know this is public test, but you know what? I figured I might as well get started on this early to get out ahead of everybody else. You can see that Zorkiy is a project for a high-speed armored flotilla leader, armed with dual-purpose and AA guns. It was designed in the USSR in the early 1950s, drawing on experience gained during World War II, obviously. Main battery 4.2. Alright, we'll go over armor and all that here. This may change, it may not, but I think this is going to stay relatively close to the same. Fore-end plating 19 meters. 50 millimeter section right here. We got a 25 millimeter section right here. A 50 millimeter section here. Front is 12. Top is 12 of the turret. We got this armor belt of 50, so it's going to be pretty good. 19. Conning tower 19 meters. Superstructure plating 13 meters. Deck plating goes 25 to 19 in the back. Got another 50 millimeter plating right there. Rubber bat 50 meters. 50 meters there. Back at turret 12. Deck is 25. Side plating 50. Side plating 19. Aft endeth warship 19 meters. Fore endeth warship 19 meters. Survivability is 27,450 on Zorkiy. Main battery 4x2 133 millimeters. 4.2 second reload time, 10.3 seconds turning time. It's got the armor piercing and high explosive, obviously there. It's got that burst fire mechanic as well, which you got two modes to fire in: single fire mode and burst fire mode. Burst fire mode, so the reload time of 4.2 seconds is non-burst fire mode, but if it's in burst fire mode, it's 40 seconds, and interval between shots is 8 seconds, and number of bursts in a series is 4. Fire off your guns 4 times in the burst mode. Main battery, firing range 14.8 kilometers. Torpedoes 2x5 503 millimeters. Reload time 131 seconds. Torpedo range 8 kilometers. Torpedo speed 66 knots. Depth charges 17,000. Number of charges 2. Bombs in a charge 14. Depth charge reload time 40 seconds. AA is pretty decent. It goes out to 6 kilometers. Continuous damage is 265. Shell explosion damage 2,093. AA guns does not tell me the ranges on these. Okay, our maximum speed is 43 knots, which is pretty good. Turning circle radius is 760 meters. Rudder shift time 4.8 seconds. Concealment 9.7 kilometers. 0 to 4 kilometers for when you can be seen by subs. Detectability by air 4 kilometers. Assured detectability range goes up to 4.1 when firing in smoke. Skills, I have preventative maintenance, swift fish, last stand, main battery, and AA specialist, survivability expert, main battery and AA expert, and dazzle. Focusing more on the offense capabilities of the ship. So this is my loadout here. I got main battery modification 3 to get that reload time down a little bit. Steering gears mod 2. Most people will probably slot in concealment system modification 1. I'm playing a little risque, so I put steering gears mod 2. Propulsion mod 1. You can make the argument for depth charges mod 1 if you would like. That's up to your preference. Torpedo modifications 1. I don't really see somebody switching this out. Maybe for aiming systems mod 1 if they wanted. Engine room protection. Main armaments mod 1. You got your special F key here, which shows you that things change a little bit here. So your armor, your high explosive shell armor capacity penetration goes up by 25%, but your maximum main battery shell dispersion goes up by 25%. Again, 40-second reload when you choose the burst option. Interval between shots, 8.8 seconds. Number of bursts, series 4. Whenever you fire off the burst, you're stuck in that. You have to wait until it reloads completely before switching back to the normal reload. So here we go. We're just gonna go test this out. Keep in mind, these stats can change, but I'm just going for it. Because I really thought this was a pretty strong destroyer. I'm already seeing people with videos up of Conde, so I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. So I went for it. What is this? Interesting how we don't really see people speak out against super ships at the present time. Foreboding that they're coming. But I'm going to just show you, I'm just going to show them for you so you know what you're up against. I don't mind that I'm playing with players from different regions at all, actually. So the specialty on this ship, of course, is the burst fire mode. Yamagiri has its own specialty with the torpedoes. So I'm going to show you So I'm going to show off that burst fire mode, and then we're going to go back to normal reload. You can see that you can see why I put main battery modification 3 on this right away now, can't you? So you can get more burst fire off. Sometimes I feel that we just feel like we took for granted the game that we've had for so long and we didn't have these tier 11s. I'm just going to show you how absurd this is once we find an enemy ship here. Yeah, I'm mostly playing against folks from RU and EU here. One from Asia, another one from India. They have a Zorkiy too, so this ought to be a little bit of fun. You can see that the game is going closer and closer to an arcadey style game, more and more with every silly introduction, things like this. Got enemy Zorkiy right here, so we're just gonna see the absurdity of this. Still gotta wait for this to reload, of course.
Problem solved, sir. Critical engine damage.
Torpedoes aren't reloaded, as you can see. If you go off with the super mode right away, you're at a disadvantage because you have to wait for it to recharge, of course. It's important to note.
The ship is on fire.
He's out. So you want to, of course, retreat after you fire off your burst. See how effective that was?
Problem solved, sir.
Goliath is going to come over and cause me some trouble. detected, so I should just take advantage of that and just get out of here. Yeah. Good idea to lay down some torpedo wall. It's like enhanced Khabarovsk, if in case you're wondering. Khabarovsk. Of course, you can see that dispersion's up a little bit. And over the sea here, so I'm not completely destroyed. This is what testing's going to be like on update 10.10. Right now we're in public 10. We're in the public test server recording this, but I was like, I got these ships for less than 24 hours. Why not make a couple vids on them? So I don't think round 2 public test starts up anytime soon, but keep in mind that the stats will probably change again, depending on how Wargaming decides to balance these guys. So keep that in mind. Get off my burst fire. I'm getting out this Goliath. I suppose what they consider the balancing factor is the fact that you get the long reload on the burst and the fact that you have increased dispersion. On the other side of things, it did give you increased armor penetration when you're firing in burst mode for Zorkiy here. Jeez, I'm just thinking about it now. They could seriously create special tier 11s next. What do you think you're going to go after next? For me, I think they might pull out an enhanced version of Azuma. We already have that Yoshino, but they could sit there and maybe create a version of Yoshino that has 4 turrets. Like, get away with that. I don't know. Possibilities are endless. As for what I think of Zorkiy, I think, seems to play decently. I guess as I'm playing these super ships, I'm understanding that their effects are a little bit strong, but if they're brought into balance, maybe they could just work. But still, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they don't do anything ridiculous with this concept, but I am still frustrated that these ships potentially are going to sit there and outdate my tier 10s a little bit. I'm going to have to grind for a bunch of credits just to sit there and get at this again. What do I got? What's my enemy? I got an enemy. Okay, perfect. So you just imagine being that battleship for a second and seeing all this come down on you? It's just crazy, isn't it? Hardly any of it penetrated, as you can see. Back off before I get blapped by the battleship guns here. Keep a wall.
Engine boost activated.
It's advantageous position, probably firing toward the back, as you can see here.
All stations requesting fire.
See that it's pretty effective. Started one fire. I'm choosing for this burst fire mode because I'm able to get off a few more shots at him. Of course, it does has normal fire mode, of course, as well. At 4 seconds. I'm gonna go switch into standard firing mode now. See that reload is back to normal here. We're not in burst fire. Which means I'll be more accurate with my guns. That's the important part about it. Your burst fire, your guns they're gonna disperse. They're gonna have more dispersion on them. It's definitely something to keep in mind. So it's really up to a matter of preference whether you want burst fire or you want the normal firing mode. Alright, has that skill on him where he can't catch on fire easily. I think it's the one where minus 10% of fire. He must have that on or something.
Engine boost deactivated.
Now we're gonna switch to burst fire, and you can see that there's no cooldown time between switching between these modes, except for when you fire your gun. So if you fire from burst fire mode, you're gonna have to wait 40 seconds before firing in standard firing mode, etc. Vice versa. It can just do incredible damage in such a short amount of time. It's just crazy. Look at that, I've already fired off almost 180 shells already. Because of how crazy this is. I don't really think the stats are going to change too much on these. But if they do, I'll be sure to cover it in, if they come out with a devlog or such. This ship seems pretty strong. You can see that not all the shells are going through though. It's the important bit, of course. I guess our meta is going to change to where we're going to have more of these special mechanic ships, because they hinted that they're going to introduce mechanics like these to the lower tiers. Which is bad. Because we've had auto loaders before. Or should I say burst fire tanks before in World of Tanks, and people do not like those. It completely just killed the fun for me anyway. So I don't log into World of Tanks anymore, partially because of that. And the fact that they seem to throw offers at you left and right. Buy battle pass, buy this, buy that. Every time you log into the game. It's just really annoying. Ah, Kremlin. Keep in mind on Kava that they designed this as a gunboat, or should I say Zorkiy, more gunboatish. See, we got these new water textures here. Look nice. I just am of the opinion that these are gonna really just make the game less fun over time. That's just my opinion. You can agree or disagree if you want. This is just crazy.
Engine boost activated.
Torpedoes aren't going to hit him from here because of the island. Since we're on that cooldown, I better turn away a bit. You can see that main battery modification 3 does affect the burst fire mode. It helps it reload faster. Who knows if they're going to change that. Right now on public test 10.10 it works. Everything is subject to change. Keep that in mind. I don't know when these will be coming into the normal game. I assume it'll be after a few months of testing. Not right away.
Torpedoes direct front.
Who am I facing? Kaze? Okay. They respond in kind.
Critical engine damage. Problem solved, sir.
Overall, a crazy battle, as you can see. Satsuma here. So we're just gonna kind of watch how this battle plays out, I guess. I'm curious. To respond to that point, it kind of was really stupid of me to rush in there like that. I thought that the burst fire would take care of them, and I guess it didn't. I'm gonna leave it be. When this Satsuma keeps his distance. If they go after C, then we're pretty much done. Kremlin's on low health. If he takes out the Kremlin, might be able to win this, but let's see what happens. Oh, look at that torpedo spread. Satsuma's having a hard time trying to dodge that.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Now the Kremlin has more health than Satsuma. Satsuma played smart. Don't show your weak point. Stay alive, friends. Almost got this. Here we go. Now we can take a detailed look at the stats. Let's take a look here. We got 88,000 damage, 215 hits. Top 3. Huh, surprised. Rugamo got up there too, it looks like. See how much damage I did. So I caused the most damage to Satsuma, a little less to Kremlin, some of that Zorkiy, Goliath, and Shimakaze a little bit. These are going to have a high credit cost when they come into the game, keep that in mind. Not in the initial testing phase, this will be after they finally add them into the game. So, overall, these ships have high damage potential, but they try to offset it by that 25% dispersion. Not a big fan of these ships, I will say that, but I will show you, we'll show you how they play, because you guys got to know how to face these now. I feel like Wargaming's intent on pushing these into the game no matter what. Seems to be their attitude about a lot of things. Push changes through in the game that players don't like at times. So, please remember to like, watch, and subscribe to the channel for future World of Warships and Temple Run 2 videos. See you on the next video.